This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, February 20th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. Farmer's Sassy Sauce was created at the former Acapulco Joe's restaurant in downtown Indianapolis, which closed in 2019. But Indy native Brian Farmer launched a company during the pandemic to sell the popular hot sauce, which is now available in more than 70 retail locations. He says the company's success started by word of mouth.
There was a Reddit thread. Someone said, hey, if you're looking for this, you should try Farmer Sauce. So we just kind of went with that and started doing more online social presence.
The company doubled its sales in 2022, and Farmer says plans are in place to release the restaurant's popular salad dressing in the future. Crews are nearing completion of a more than 1 million square foot speculative building at the River Ridge Commerce Center in Jeffersonville. While financial details are not being disclosed, River Ridge says the Gateway 1000 building is set to be complete this summer. The Jasper County Economic Development Organization has announced Executive Director Stephen Eastridge will step down from his post in March and transition into the private sector. The organization says it expects to name Eastridge's successor this spring. Eastridge joined the organization in November 2017, during which time the county has seen approximately $800 million in new investment and the creation of 374 jobs. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Has your company grown at a rapid pace over the last 2 years? Nominations are now being accepted for Fast 25, IBJ's exclusive list of fastest growing companies in Central Indiana. Honorees will be spotlighted in a special publication in the IBJ and celebrated at an event on May 9th. Check out the changes to this year's criteria to see if your company qualifies. Learn more and submit your nomination by March 1st at ibj.com/nominations.
Indiana business and community leaders, you're invited to a roadshow unlike any other. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation are joining forces for the Engage Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. A focus on talent, education, and issues that shape our economy. 7 regional events, 1 shared purpose, advancing the future of Indiana. Discover more at ibj.com/engage.
An IUPUI program that helps students from minority and disadvantaged groups pursue careers in the biomedical and behavioral sciences has received a $2 million grant. IIB's Wes Mills has more.
The funding from the National Institutes of Health will help 6 students who are currently enrolled in the IUPUI Post-Baccalaureate Research Education Program. iPrep fellows get access to an intensive research internship with a rigorous and individualized academic, professional, and personal development plan. Of the 45 students to complete the program since its launch in 2014, 91% have been admitted to PhD or master's degree programs. Janice Blum, Dean of the IU Graduate School in Indianapolis, said the funding will help students move into careers as scientists and innovators in biomedical research and education. IUPUI says over the next 5 years of the grant, iPrep will focus on preparing students for careers in 6 key areas: basic medical sciences, clinical psychology, neuroscience, human performance, biomedical engineering, and artificial intelligence. The students also receive 12 months paid research experience with faculty research mentors across the IUPUI campus. Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Spherion Staffing and Recruiting has opened a new office in Jeffersonville. The company, which operates offices throughout the country, says the new location will help match job seekers in the Jeffersonville and Louisville market with new employment opportunities and a focus on professional placements as well as office, administrative, and light industrial warehousing and manufacturing positions. From Amazon to Microsoft to Twitter and many others, tech companies nationwide have announced more than 200,000 layoffs since the start of the year. But is a different story emerging in Indiana? More than 130 Hoosier tech companies reported $441 million in capital investment last year, the second highest number since Indianapolis-based TechPoint began publicly tracking those numbers. TechPoint CEO Ting Goody says despite the number of tech layoffs nationwide, Indiana has a much better outlook.
Locally, Indiana, based on the number we're tracking, the tech workforce demand is still outstripping supply by a factor of 2. And we're also actively in conversations with roughly 200 tech employers in our state, ranging from startups to big companies, and less than 8% of them have conducted layoffs.
Last month, Elevate Ventures announced it had set a record for annual investments in 2022 with 128 transactions totaling $22.8 million. CEO Christopher Day said the venture capital environment in Indiana is more robust than ever. Congressman Andre Carson is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.